Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. Mark Causey here from Black Cat Comics in Rockin' Milpitas. Every Wednesday is New Comic Day, and I like to give you some great reasons to get down to your local comic shop and pick up something fun to read. It's a pretty small week, but as always, there's lots of great stuff to talk about. I'm going to start with the Marvel guys because I'm super excited about this. This is Captain America number 695, the return to his original numbering. This is the beginning of the Marvel Legacy Captain America stuff. Everybody knows I'm a huge Cap fan. Really stoked to see him getting back to glory, getting back to being Captain America in his original suit after all the Secret Empire stuff. Like I say, can't say enough about this book. Real excited about getting into that one. Mark Waid, Chris Samnee, on and on I could go. This is your latest issue of Avengers. Another book I'm always excited about. This is part 3 of the current thing. If you grabbed the previous issue, 672, and you grabbed the last issue of Champions, love those Alex Ross covers. Love anything Avengers. Again, this is Mark Waid, one of my all-time favorite guys. If you're any kind of Avengers fan, you should be jumping up on both of those. Guardians of the Galaxy, also getting back to its original numbering. This is number 146. In case you didn't know, all of these have little blurbs inside that explain how they get to these big numbers, so you can catch up on all those little runs and fill in your gaps. Everybody's a big fan of Guardians of the Galaxy these days. Iron Fist, another one of your Marvel Legacy books. Marvel's big, one of their many TV stars these days. Miles Morales gets his original numbering as well. This is Spider-Man number 234. I assume they're jumping in on all the ultimate numbering with this one. Everybody loves Miles. Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man. One of the books that goes back to the old days, but they haven't renumbered this one just yet. I don't know if they are, to be honest. But that's your other Spider book for the week. Good week for the X-Men too. Astonishing X-Men number 5. Maybe you're reading X-Men Gold, X-Men Blue. Maybe this one's flying under your radar, but you should really be checking out some Astonishing X-Men. If you get to the last page of that first issue, you'll understand what I'm talking about. This is as good as any of the others that are going on. Old Man Logan and Iceman round out your X stuff for the week. Good fun there. Old Man Logan's been super popular as well. Black Bolt and Inhumans. So you get 2 Inhumans books this week. I know there's not a whole lot of buzz about the show, but the books have been really solid. The critics love this Black Bolt book, so if you're an Inhumans fan, or if you just want to check out some cool books, that's one for you. Power Pack makes their way back to comics. If you're 100 years old like me, you remember this kid's book from back in the day. Just a one-shot, just to kind of remind the old school fans of the good old days. And Star Wars Darth Vader. It's your Star Wars book of the week, rounding out your Marvel stuff. Can't say enough about this book. It's been selling out every single issue, gone to reprint. Even if you're not a Star Wars fan, if you're a sci-fi fan or any kind of comic fan, you might want to be checking out Darth Vader or any of the awesome Star Wars books that they have. Great week for the DC guys as always. Let's talk some heavy metal. This is your super shiny Batman the Devastator. Cool Bat Doomsday there on the cover. Again, can't say enough about all this metal stuff. These books have been selling out every single week, so I hope this one's on your subscription list, or I hope you're already in line for your favorite comic shop, because that's a hot one. Justice League is your other metal book for the week. I don't need to say too much about this one. Everybody's already reading Justice League, one of the best books DC has. Batman, speaking of one of the best books DC has, speaking of a book that doesn't need a whole lot of hype from me, another really great issue following up on the War of Jokes and Riddles stuff. A lot going on with him and Catwoman these days. Nightwing, Bane Conquest. Round out your DC proper Batman stuff, but always other bats to talk about, like Batman Shadow number 2. You know I love some Shadow. This is a team up with DC and Dynamite. Awesome stuff. And speaking of team ups, here's Harley and Ivy meet Betty and Veronica number 2. Still got a few copies of number 1. The title is just as awesome as it sounds. Going to be talking a little bit more about Archie in a minute. Superman number 34 is actually Superman number 800. Talking a lot about legacy numbering and original numbering. They're just going to keep rolling on. Next one will be number 35, but just so's you knows, they put a big 800 on the cover there to remind you that Big Blue's been around for a little while. Green Lantern and Green Arrow are always fun to read side by side, especially if you're an old schooler like me. We love some Green Arrow, Green Lantern team up. Cyborg rounds out your DC Rebirth proper, but there's always more DC to talk about. Deadman from the legendary Neil Adams comes in a glow-in-the-dark cover for $4.99 and a regular cover for $3.99. Love me some Deadman. Black Lightning gets a new miniseries, kind of testing the waters to give him his own book. One of the cooler characters in comics, fairly unique. I always like the characters where the other guy doesn't really have one. Marvel doesn't really have a Black Lightning. Good stuff. Dastardly and Muttley is one of your Hanna-Barbera books this week, but The Jetsons is the Hanna-Barbera book I want to talk about. Been saying a lot about this Hanna-Barbera relaunch stuff. This is a little bit in the vein of Scooby Apocalypse, where they're kind of updating, kind of rebooting the Jetsons. Everybody loves the Jetsons and the Flintstones. Love all this Hanna-Barbera stuff they've been doing. And Injustice 2 rounds out your DC stuff for the week. Always fun from those guys. Pretty small week for all the other guys too, but like I say, great stuff to talk about. Usagi Yojimbo is my Dark Horse book of the week, in the absence of a Mike Mignola book, because you know I love to talk about it. But Usagi is one of the all-time greats. Stan Sakai is one of the all-time greats. If you don't know about Usagi Yojimbo, you really owe it to yourself to pick up an issue, pick up the first volume of that trade paperback. This book really can change your life. Walking Dead is your Image book of the week. Always mentioning when they come out in periodical, because I know a lot of you guys read them in trade paperback, but like I always say, periodicals are just more fun. So grab the latest trade and then catch up to the current issue, because it's meant to be serialized. Paper Girls is your other Image book of the week. Don't see this one too often, but a little like Monstrous and some of their other ones, this is one of their newer big hits. But Stray Bullets is my Image book of the week, because I never missed a chance to talk up some David Lapham. This book is messed up. This book is for mature readers only, and don't read it at night, but it's a whole lot of fun. So if you like black and white, sort of dark, creepy books, Stray Bullets is really awesome. Told you I'd be talking up some Archie. This is Archie number 25. Been saying a lot about what an amazing job they've been doing with their comics lately. This is more of a kind of standard, modernized version of Archie, kind of like current comics, not really the all ages stuff. This is the first issue of the new arc, so grab that first trade paperback or grab this latest issue to see what I'm talking about. Just great comics. Red Sonja is my Dynamite book of the week. Speaking of great comics, Red Sonja has been around forever. If they gave her Marvel original numbering, they'd be up in like the 300s or something. If you love barbarian action, that's the book for you. Clue is my IDW book, because the comic is just as much fun as the game and just as much fun as the movie. Should tell you that all the different covers represent a book that has a different last page. Kind of like the movie had different endings, the comic has different endings. So you may want to grab cover B, cover C, cover D, to check out some of the different stuff they got going on. Robotech is my Titans book of the week. I think it's awesome that Robotech comes out the same week as Voltron, the legendary Defender. If you're a 80s, 90s kid, you love some Robotech, you love some Voltron. Everybody loves giant robots punching stuff. Good week for all the indie guys. Good week for the all ages. Again, not too much to talk about, but DuckTales. What's cooler than DuckTales? They got a new cartoon. They got the classic cartoon, classic comics, new comics. Love me some Disney Ducks. And Simpsons Comics Explosion number 4. My other all ages book of the week. You know, I never miss a chance to talk up Bongo and the great job they do with everything. Hope you caught this year's Treehouse of Horror, because it was super awesome. Love me some Simpsons. Since it's a small week, I'm going to talk about just a couple of things I don't usually talk about. This is 2000 AD. This is a British sci-fi anthology magazine. This is where guys like Alan Moore and Grant Morrison got started. A little in the vein of heavy metal. If you like sci-fi, it's a very mature reader, but really, really cool stuff. I've been a big fan of Rogue Trooper for a long time. So if you've never checked out 2000 AD, grab the latest issue or one of the issues that we got. It's great stuff. And this is Back Issue Magazine. If you're 100 years old like me, you love all the old comics. If you're not 100 years old like me, but you want to get to know some of the history of some of the great stuff from the good old days, Back Issue Magazine is really, really awesome. This month's issue is about rock and roll comics, like Kiss, the hottest band in the land, Love me some back issues. Love me some back issue magazine. Like I say, if you're interested in the old stuff, check that out. Lots and lots of great books this week, so check those shipping lists. Get down to your shop, pick up something super awesome. Want to thank everybody that came out to the Black Cat Comics Halloween Spooktacular. Had a ton of fun this year again. It was a great swap meet this year. We do all kinds of events all the time, so keep up with this video, the newsletter, the Black Cat events page on our website. Make sure you get it out to our next event because they're always tons of fun. That's all we got for you for this week. You can check us out at blackcatcomics.biz, check us out at Facebook, our YouTube channel, check out the podcast at soundcloud.com. Just get on down here to Rock and Milpitas. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.